Everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. We're going to be talking money, offers in this game. Spent $100. What did it get me? Is it worthwhile? Do you want to buy some of these offers? So we're going to touch that a little bit in game. We're going to explore a couple of things in the shop as well. Hopefully this helps you decide certain things you want to buy and what you might find valuable. Before we get there, hammer down that like button, click that notification bell, subscription button. You know all the drills. And if you want to, go ahead and check out the Discord link in the description below. Trying to grow the community every day. Check it out. All right, so let's go see what we got in the offers.
Bring me WolverThor!
All right, so if you're not familiar, there's this little up in the right-hand corner here where we've got a shopping cart where you've got all sorts of different things you can spend money in game. There's two different ways to spend money. There's money, wherever country you're in, and then you've got these crystals. You can buy crystals, you can earn crystals in game, etc. We're not going to go over that in detail. Right now, what I'm going to tell you is I have bought the first offer I got here is this Omega Pass. All right. Now, I will walk through what this is, what it got me, and the two other offers that I've bought. This was the first one. The other one is actually an offer, and I'm going to switch to a spreadsheet here. Anybody who's seen the channel before is used to this part. So I've got a spreadsheet. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see a bit better, where I've spent exactly, what, $81. Prior to this, I did not spend anything in game. We'll blow it up a little bit more. I finally decided, you know what? I'm going to spend some money. It's global launch. Let's do some of this. So I got the Omega Season 1 pass. That was what I showed you upper and left corner. $9. Essentially what that gives me is 600 crystals, a 5-star Omega card, which is rare, or the rare Omega card, 3 costume draws, a card draw, and some other stuff. So now, when I say that, we'll go back to game here. So what are we talking about, right? It's real simple, and whether you get it, I don't want to go over what all of this stuff does for you guys because that's a little bit different, but the draws are these tickets, right? These, to me, from what I have seen so far, the draws seem to be the thing you want the most, even though they are heavy in the RNG. Other part is these crystals. I like getting crystals. I like getting draws, okay? If I can get some boxes on top of that, that's great. If I can get some dedicated pieces like this was what I was talking about, the Omega card. You can see that there's a little rare symbol here. Now, do I actually want this specific card? No, I actually don't. But it is a 5-star card. There might be at some point where I want this one for a particular character. It was kind of just like, you know what? I'm going to spend a little bit. Let's see what it's got. So when I looked through all this, you know, these boxes, these reports, these reports are what you get to level up your character for the enhanced potential, which, okay, that's not bad, but it's not like, I'm not looking to necessarily spend on that. You know, it's like, okay, yes, I'd love some of these things, okay, but you know, I need more, but I'm not necessarily, I mean, it would have to be a really good deal for me to go ahead and want to do that. All right. So, when I'm looking at all this stuff, that's what I'm getting. That's why I summarized it on this sheet. So really, when I was looking at that 600 crystals, that one card you saw, which in this particular case, I was like, the costume draws and the card draw, I'll show you that, as well. So you can understand what that means. Okay. So let's get back into, this. So in the shop, when you're in here, you've got this draw section. And you've got the costume, the Omega, and Dimension box. So we're going to be talking about this quite a bit when we're running through here. This is what I mean when I'm talking about this. All right, costume, right? Omega, etc. So I'll go through this in a basic video, but you can do these draws, and it's like, and you can get something, right? What are you going to get? Now, you got to understand that as you're looking through these, the details here, the chance to get, you're likely going to get a 3-star. Something you're not really going to, you know, be super, this is all fodder, right? But you do have a chance to get some rares. Like, so what I just saw pop up a second ago here. This is a card that I know I want. I actually got one of these. And what happens is when you roll these cards into the 4-star, when I say roll, that means when you combine them together to get to 4, you get a specific stat. And some of those stats are good and some of them are not. So you got to pay attention to that. So me in particular, I was like, oh, wow. All right. So I would love to get some of these cards. And these cards here, see these? Ooh, these are sexy. These are the coveted pieces. But you know, how likely to get those? super small chance, 1%. That, I mean, you're looking to get these type of cards, right? You know, this card is very coveted in the game. The Black Widow card that's got this high crit damage. It's one of the most sought after cards in the game because of that. So, but again, that type of card, you know, 1% chance. So, you know, for anybody who's played these RNG gacha games, that's what you got there. So I do like the draws, getting these draws as much as I can. And on top of that, it gives you the Alliance loyalty, which helps build up some boxes in game, and I'll show you that in a second, and these Omega points. This is kind of a pity system, which I was really happy that they did. So where do they have these? Oh, there they are. Special tokens. So you get these Omega points, right? And I've only got 94. And see this 5-star costume selection box, New Stark City? I don't care about New Stark City, but when that is Mengardia, I want to make sure that I have 500 of those. That is, no, it's still RNG, but man, those regional pieces are so hard to get. So that's what I'm saying. So the draws lead me to this eventual box here. So I'm like, all right, so I can actually get some decent or potentially decent pieces or fodder. And so I like the card draws the best to start. Maybe eventually I'll like these more. So anyway, so when we were talking about that offer, when we were talking about all this stuff here, that's why I ended up pulling the trigger on top of getting those specific crystals as well. Now, I also got two other offers, one for $27 and one for $45. Essentially what this got me is crystals. The $27 one, which was the alpha bundle, gave me 7,650, and the $45 gave me 13,750. Now, the reason that I was liking that is because I know in game, you know, prior to global, what we had to do is if you ever wanted to redo a raid, what you needed to do was crystals. All right, so when I'm looking here and I'm going to do a raid, you know, whenever you're doing these, I've already used mine. Originally, this was just crystals. So you could do it 3 times a day and you needed crystals. Now they have added these raid reward tickets that you can buy. You can only buy, I think, 2 per week is what I think it is, if I remember right. And they're 200,000 a piece. So I would definitely buy these. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where you don't need to rerun these raids a lot. The reason you run these raids is to get these different anti-convergent pieces which go into your specialization. Again, check out all the the beginner video stuff for that. I don't want to go through that in detail now. This is more about what, you know, spending. So when I look at that and I'm thinking about, okay, so I got all of those crystals, right? So, you know, another spot that I need the crystals for is I need to make sure that I've got, you know, my squad. I want to expand my squads, right? So it's 1600 crystals there. The part that I liked the most about this, though, is, now not this one in particular, because I don't really like the dimension box. The cores, they have failed rates, so I don't like that. So the dimension box, I'm not touching this, really. Even though I like sin particles for crafting, don't like this. But regularly, when this is here, when I want to do a 10 draw, it's 1800 crystals. So I'm like, all right, I need crystals. I want crystals. You know, there are some other featured you know, these costume draws that people are looking for. Where is it? The Rise of the East. You know, this is a one that's a new gear set that some people like. Steampunk came out. So people are looking for these draws. They're doing a ton of these draws. They're spending a bunch of these crystals to try to get these costumes. So crystals are very, very important. So when, you know, I was talking about, you know, what I'm spending here. All right, so if I can get, you know, a certain amount of draws from crystals, I want to do that. Now, what was nice is one of the things that they currently had in game was an offer for 2,000 crystals to get 20 draws over the course of 10 days. So I liked that very much. Let me see if I can scroll to the right and see these. Yeah, so you can see right here, with those crystal purchases, I bought those draws. So I got 20 draws of costumes and 20 draws of cards, which we're going to pull right now over these 10, or at least some of them, because it's not been 10 days yet. I'll pull about 10 or 11 so you can see what you're going to get there. So when I saw those crystals, I was like, hey, all right, so if I'm going to spend this money, that's not too bad. I can get all these crystals. I can use them for these costume draws, and I can eventually use them for hero slots, for storage. I didn't mention that before, but you need to expand that storage. So do I get a lot in the game? Am I getting a lot of power? Not necessarily, but it's helping me function a little bit better, right? So we'll see what I get from these costume draws. We'll see what we get these card draws. Before we do that, I've got another, I mean, you just noticed that was only $81, right? So this is only $81. So I was like, well, I spent $100 in that thumbnail, right? All right. So I started looking at the $26 offers in game. The Omega Future one was $26. There was Omega Starter, a weekly power up. We'll look at them in game in a second here, and then we'll kind of go through them. There's some other ones that I didn't want to put here. Little spoiler about how I feel about these, right? So when I'm talking about this, we are looking at the Omega Starter and the weekly power up, right? Okay, so the Omega Starter bundle. It's this one here. 1,600 crystals, some draws, this power upgrade box. I don't like these. I need them, but I don't like spending money on these. It's just not worth it. Some training manuals, yeah, I need that, but I can also spend time on it. So I'm not really seeing a lot of value in this because it's got low draw tickets. It's kind of like, all right, you know, I just don't think it's that great. And then what did we talk about? The weekly power up. That's this one, also $26. So now I get a little bit more draws and I get this Omega supply box, which again, we'll talk about in a second, which is essentially the 3 to 5 star of, you know, either the costume, Omega card or core. I don't like that. These are so RNG. On top of that, you're typically going to combine them. So I'm only getting, you know, 2 of those, you know, and I'm going to end up with a 3 star, which is kind of like, all right. So when I was looking at this, the Omega Future membership was what caught my attention as far as the actual, you know, thing to buy for if I needed to get to that $100 mark for the video, really, was this one. Because if you get all these crystals, which add up to, what is it, 5,850. Again, it's over 28 days. And then you also get 28 of these Omega supply boxes. So again, this is very RNG. These are kind of free in this case, depending on, and we'll talk about the price baseline for the game. But you get these throughout here. Now, it's not a great offer. I would not say that, you know, this is a must-have or anything like that. You know, if I'm looking back at my spreadsheet, I'm going, all right, so I'm spending $26. You know, I'm looking at these two. I only get 1,600 crystals, 1,000 crystals. I'm looking at this one. I'm getting 5,800 crystals. Granted, it's stretched out over a course of time. So if you want to pay to get crystals quicker, you're paying a premium. If you can wait, just wait for 28 days. I get the 28 Omega box supply boxes as well. That basically converts to, you know, roughly 4 or 5 costume card upgrades or 9 core upgrades. The core upgrades, I don't want cores from these. I hate cores. Okay, like the way those upgrades and you can fail, it's basically like throwing away money. And the base pricing in the game is 1,800 crystals for $26. So I'm getting 3.25 times more crystals with this Omega Future membership. So if I need those crystals, I'm looking at that. You know, this Omega Starter and the weekly power up. I'm like, not really loving that. Not really loving that. You know, I talk about walk through the event bundles as well. Before I do the event bundles, this is where I baseline those costs, right? So $27, you know, that's where I'm getting these crystals. You get a bonus 150 crystals, but I'm like, eh. So when I see those other ones, I'm kind of like, all right, I want to do that, right? So let's see. Let's find the event. Let's find the event bundle or the, there we go. So here's some event bundles here. Omega Starter, again, I'm just not really loving that. We saw that before. Weekly power up. Okay, great. The normal ones. There's some other $26 ones in here that pop up. Omega, monthly Omega. This 5 Omega, it's like, okay, I'd love a 5-star Omega, but it's RNG. I don't love it. And that's it. 500,000 gold? No. And then 5 card draw? No. That's no chance I'm buying that. Monthly core bundle? Get out of town. You know, you are going to get 3 stars on every single one of these boxes. Eventually, when you get to that 4-star and you're trying to upgrade, there's a chance it won't. Dimension box, I already talked about how I really don't like the dimension box. I would not touch this offer with a 10-foot pole. Okay. And then there's some other stuff in there. So anyway, so I got, so we talked a little bit about what I spent $100 on. It was mainly crystals. I did get that Omega season 1 pass. We kind of talked about that a little bit. A lot of people don't like this pass. It's not that great, but there is some stuff in here. And I was like, you know what, for science, these synchronized particles, these are different than the sin particles. Make sure you know that difference. I don't care about these. But some of the crystals and, you know, getting some boxes while I'm in here, I was like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna do that for the time being. And then it was crystals, which I got these draws from. And right now we've got looks about like 10 draws, right? So again, details, we want to see ourselves get, I don't know if I want Rise of the East. It looks cool. Deadly Aim's not bad. It's a very cool looking suit. I would love if there was some Midgardia in this. There is New Stark City. Great. So it's not really much I want in that one, but we'll see. So Rise of the East is probably what we want. Stark City, I don't really care. Anything else out of this is going to, Xanderth is in here. There is some Midgardia. So we want the Midgardia pieces, even though it's less than, oh my gosh, the drop rate is hilarious on that. But well, even let's see if it's in 3 stars. But so, yeah, so I'll even take a 3-star here if I can get it. So if I got a Midgardia, 1% drop rate. So I'm wanting to see that. All right. So we're going to open these. Let's see what happens. And we're going to get some, actual Omega tokens as well. So, keep your fingers crossed. I'm wearing the green shirt because we're spending money, so you can't see. And this is kind of what we're going through. And the moment of truth, what do we get? What do we get? What do we get? Oh, he looks mad. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. All right, so here we go. Anything? Nope, nothing is... What do we get here? Savage Saddleland Hair. All right. And a 4-star at that. So, Red Widows are another ones that I don't mind. So, a lot of this is pretty, it's fodder, really. So, I get this Savage Shadowlands. I like this mainly for the look. It's pretty cool. Crit rate bonus, that's fun. Crit damage bonus is nice. So that's not a terrible get there. Savage Shadowland, that's hard to get from there. So, that's a decent, pull there, right? So, it's like, okay. So we're going to go to the Omega card. Same thing. We're going to pull from here. We're hoping to get, one of these special cards, the Black Widow one. We'll see what we get. All right. We'll cut through here. We'll shorten this one up. All right. Let's see what we get. Oh, nothing's holding up. Where's one holding up? What are we getting there? I think I actually already have that one. So no special cards. I got a 4-star card. Let's see. Did we get any... Yeah, it looks like only one rare. That's pretty trashy. So, but it's a Dark Zone 4. I do already have, I think, 2 other of these. So this, of the Dark Zone 4 ones, this is the one I want the least. But if for some reason when I merge this up to 4 and I don't get a stat that I like, or if I want to move this to a different character, that's not so bad. So again, when you upgrade those to 4-star, when you do that, you will get an exclusive stat here. Reach 4-star. Do it on a character you want it for, because that stat cannot be changed as you move it to a different character. It will then be lost. So these were just kind of okay, nothing special. I did get 1 4-star, but again, it's a fodder card, so but it'll just help me get it to a 3-star or a 5-star a little bit easier. And that's, I've got another draw here, which I'll go ahead and do. Let's see how many more I got of these. We'll see. All right, let's see. Let's skip this. All right, again, trash. That's fodder. It's like, all right. So then I've got no more draws here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this one on the Rise of the East. I got 1 left. That's why that red button said, let's see what we got. Spacesuit, Widow, give me something good, Rocket. And no. 3 stars. So that's where the RNG comes into effect. Those are my draws. So at the end of the day, I got this mail. Let's claim all. I got all of these different, Omega points. So now those will help me get to the pity system. I mentioned that before. So now I've got 138. I need 500 of those to get to the pity the pity party. Have a pity party for me. And yeah, you can see that, of all this gear I got in here. So, I got, this one's not too bad. I got some other decent, 3 stars in here. And then I got all those Omega cards, which, okay, that's not so bad. Do I love them? I don't know. They're intermingled in here. So $100, is it worth it? I mean, the crystals are helpful. I like that the best. Now it gives me some flexibility on stuff that I want to buy in game. I'm going to continue to spend in this game for time being. I will say the thing that I've noticed most about spending in this game is that it helps you progress farther, but you're not going to get a lot for $100 or $200. Okay, you're going to have to spend a lot or get really, really lucky to be able to say, oh, wow, I'm happy I spent that money. So I'm talking thousands and maybe tens of thousands of dollars to really get to the point where you're like, or you're super lucky. So I appreciate you guys hanging out for this. Again, check out the Discord link in the description below. Hammer down the like button, notification bell, subscription button, all the goodness. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.